Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel. As I've mentioned probably on other videos, I love doing these kind of things first thing in the morning when I get up. Gotta remember comb my hair. At any rate, this is going to be part 2 of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto first movement from measure 76 to measure 131. And we'll discuss all the various things, both dynamics, bowings, fingerings. I'm using a tempo of 92 for a half note, pretty much all the way through the piece, except of course when we get down to the next melody, it'll be different. But I'm trying, sticking with that, and it fits pretty well. Now the opening passage here, which you just heard me play, this. I don't know how, you got two choices. Like me, you can reach it. I use a first finger, find that fourth position, reach for the 4, or you could do a shift. The shift is more difficult, but if you have to, you have to, So, and of course the difficulty is finding the D sharp after, and it's just a relationship from the fourth finger to the second finger. D sharp. I mean, it's essentially a minor third, even though it's a fourth, right? But it's like a minor third. So just think about that. Now the other little bit of fun. This is so much fun in all these things. We have the crescendo. So we have to make this espressivo, which is a lovely effect, right? Where it's like an accent. You gotta put some emphasis, and then come to the lower part of the bow. So you could do the same thing down bow, and then continue. Now there's another way of doing this. Some of you may prefer to put an extra bow after. But then you have another problem to solve, because if you end up, let's see, that would be up. Now we end up here down bow, and it's not nearly as comfortable. We would like that passage to be the same as the first one. And we want this. So we want that to be the same. So how to solve that? Well, if you need to take that extra bow here, you can throw an extra little up bow on the D in measure 76 and 78. No, 79, excuse me. But I think the better solution is just be careful with your bow distribution. So that works beautifully. If you save your bow, get to the lower half, and then you've got plenty of bow. And then we do. Now in my part, and I'm playing off the Baron I'm pretty sure I told you that last time. Yeah, Baron edition. They have the hairpin. In the first two, they have the hairpin. On the second series, they have it here, but they don't have it on the next one. And then they have a crescendo. It doesn't make any sense to me what they have. So what I do is I do it twice, do the hairpin twice, just like in the opening, and then I make a long crescendo from 82, 83, 84 to 85. So then make this espressive. So make the whole thing, expressive there. So it goes. Makes more sense to me by that interpretation. Okay, now let's go ahead to 85. We have a sforzando. I marked in my music just as a reminder. I don't think you have to necessarily, but I put a piano after the and with a crescendo going up the next run. So that's just my personal, I think that's the way it works. I mean, that's the way, it's a natural way to play this. We have an accent. It's going to be, when you have an accent, what comes after the accent is usually going to be softer. Also, you'll notice I'm making a little bit of a lift. I did that also in measure 84. Instead of, I tried it both ways, obviously. I don't like it with the legato. Not super short, nothing like that, but there's a separation. Same thing there. A little separation, each one of these, and the next one that comes a few bars later. This passage, just practice slowly and then trust yourself, trust your instincts. Just trust it, because, in the heat of battle, you really don't have time. Up bow, down bow, which string, it'll work. I think I emphasize in my mind an up bow at the beginning of bar 86. So this one, so that's probably would be helpful to just keep that in mind. Same thing on the second one. Up bow on that F sharp on the beginning of the bar. So that's probably a help. Yeah, so the C sharp in bar 83, 4, 5, 86 is up bow. And then the next main beat is down bow, and that's a good thing. And the second one. Yeah, the second one is easier because at least the fingering I'm using, I'm coming down. I come down to first position on the F sharp. I don't try to stay up. You could stay up in third position. Yeah, that sounds good too. The fingering I used was coming down to first position, but that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice fingering. Maybe I'll change it. So let me try it again. Yeah, my G string's a little bit stiff, so I'm not quite as comfortable. Maybe, maybe I change string, get it. I'm using obbligato. They seem a little bit stiff for my touches. So maybe I'll change that, but then maybe I'll change that fingering, right? See, I get a chance to practice here in front of you. That's pretty nice. The other way, that's a little cleaner on my violin because the D string works better. But you have your choice. Come down to first or stay in third. Okay, and the next one. Now notice when we're doing this, getting up there, got an arpeggio figure. And it's a D, F sharp, A. That's a major third. So if you've been practicing your arpeggios, you'll know that's a third finger. D, so 1, 3, 4. So we'll do that. We'll shift from third position. Should be no problem if you've been practicing your arpeggios. and you come back down the same way. You're not going to hold the D down, even though you're going to use it again because of the vibra. But your hand is staying right in that position. First finger is right still over the D. And here we've got a scale passage. And it's pretty easy. From F natural to D is a minor third. That's an easy one to find. And then I come right down to first position. Now here comes, we're coming to a really interesting passage where we've got a subito piano bar, 91, 2, 3. The end of 93, we have a subito piano. We've got to really be careful how we're going to get there. In the original part, they have one bow, and let's see. So you're ending up on an up bow. And I found that it was very difficult to make that in the heat of battle, to really make that work. The way I work it is at the beginning of our bar, I do four notes on a bow. So I'm doing down bow. I stop the bow and make the shift. Don't take the bow off the string. Works beautifully, and I end up in the right part of the bow. I want to be in the upper part of the bow. See right here, if I play all in one stroke, then it can be done, but it's more uncomfortable to be in the lower half. I want to be in the upper half, so it's very easy. And I really want to make a crescendo, because I've done this with some sort of a feeling of piano after the sforzando. See how that works? So I want to make a crescendo there in bar 91 to in 93, and it's pretty hard. It kind of grinds on the string. I'm just pressing using a lot of physical strength, where otherwise I could I make a nice quality sound. So there's the key. Now stop the bow, make this quick shift, and then I could start making the crescendo from the upper half and then expand my bow as I go. Okay, so now, what about this passage? We're in, I'm sticking, here's third, first position, all in first position, and then one grand leap up to the fourth position for the D sharp, and then back to first. I find that works. I look for things that are consistent, that I could trust. And then I hit that 97 accent. I'm not really trying to accent all three notes. Just make sure I get the first one. I mean, it's going to come out pretty loud. Okay, so now we're in the triplet section here. Clean shift to third position. Just stay in third position. 3, 3, 4, 4, and on the G string. I find that's the best. Trying to switch off, like, you hear how the open A string is too twangy. It doesn't speak well. So stay in third. Start here. Now first, third. Now here, it works fine here. This is 97, 98, 99. The end of 99, play a second finger open E. Then you can get that first finger G in there. Now this is an issue for some of my students. We're playing second position, fourth position. I guess that's fifth position. Then, instead of just switching the fingers and staying in fifth, I go back going back to a third finger on the D. That's fourth position. It makes it easier to grab the next passage. If you stay in the fifth position, then you got your first finger already occupied. You got to use it again. So we hit fourth position, and then we go grab the second position here and back to third. So as much parallel to the first time we played it as possible. Only in this case, it's much better to go to second. And same thing here, going to fourth position at this point. And you can practice that. 1, 2 on the C sharp G. I'm going to do the fourth position. So that's another good one. All right. So now this next passage. I like to think, if I'm not actually doing it, I like to think an accent on the A and the E string. And that seems to help make it speak. Okay. We're coming down to 107, 108, 109. Sometimes my students have issues with making sure that they play this fifth, the E flat, B flat. You gotta play that as a fifth, like you're playing a full chord. Because if you're moving that finger back and forth, that's not good. Okay, so now as we get to this point, we're going to do a very slight ritardando, rallentando. Just take a little bit of time instead of going directly into it. Doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good, feel good. Just take a little time on the last triplet, and then we'll get into what's marked in my part as D, letter D. Okay, so we go right to fifth position. No messing around there. 2-2, down to fourth position. That's where you got to be a little tricky, careful, because you're going to have to do some weird fingering. Fourth there, but then back a half step, still fourth position. I should suggest practice slowly, let your hand get used to this. Still in fourth position all through here. Now, what I do here, this is after D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth bar after D. I come back to third position. I mean, you don't have to. You could stay in fourth if you want. You could certainly stay in fourth there. I like to just come back to have a little more clarity on the E string. Yeah. I would say, practice it both ways. See which one works better for your violin. That's third. See, my A string cracks out a little on me there, so I'm not so comfortable with that. Probably I'm used to playing in third position, so my coordination isn't as good. That's better. Yeah, that's getting better. So sometimes it's fun to kind of try these things, and you discover, oh, your violin's different, the strings are different, so that sounds pretty clean. If you do stay in fourth position, make sure you shift down to third in the next bar. Let's see. You gotta remember that's an up bow. No, excuse me, it's a down bow. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll mess with that later. But as I say, now on this one, you have two choices at the end of bar 119. You can play 4-4, or sometimes I like to play that 3 to make it come out a little cleaner. And then I stay right in the third position at this point. I have a pet peeve here that sometimes, even of the great players, we don't hear these notes. The B flat and the D. If you do a 3-3 slide, if you play 3-4, it's maybe not going to speak. Sounds pretty good on my fiddle. I like to have the slide, the 3 to 3, and then down to first. So I play going to the. I find that one's pretty easy. The A sharp, to find that D sharp, and then now we have tranquillo marked in the music, which means we're going to slow the tempo down. We're preparing the next section. I come down to fourth position, third position, first position. I'll play that for you again. And then we're set for the famous long G. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening, and I hope this is helpful for you, gives you some ideas. Remember, I'm not trying to present myself as the greatest violinist of all time. I'm just trying to present ideas to you so that you can make yourself better and have different ways of enjoying playing this kind of a great piece. So, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll see you, hopefully, for part 3 of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. Take care.